Everybody, we are back. It is Taped Online. It's your favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also, follow us on Twitter at the March on NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasups.com. Discount code TDL for 35% off. Get some protein, guys. It's gym time anyways, right? Isn't it? Everybody's in the gym. Yep. I know gyms are packed.
I said it for a while. Hopefully people bought it up now because we got the combine bench test coming up, so gotta get ready.
You gotta get ready. All right. So today we're doing a Senior Bowl. Of course, we just look at the needs here. So we're doing another Senior Bowl preview, doing guards and cornerbacks. So we're doing is it Kalen King? Who's the other guy you're doing?
Khyree Jackson and Kalen King, yeah, those two.
Okay. All right,
Oregon, Penn State.
Oregon and Penn State, yes. So yeah, Penn State, Kalen King. I know he is a pretty nationally known guy, so that should be a big one. Today I'm doing Taliese Fuaga. We made sure we looked that up before we did that. So Taliese Fuaga. I'm gonna do Cooper Beebee, and Isaiah Adams from Illinois. So basically, kind of went day 3, day 2. You know, I don't know Beebee. We'll see, but then, but I know Fuaga is already a first round. He's a walking. He just walks in the room. You're like, oh, that's a first round tackle or guard, whatever you want to do with him. I don't know, do something. Yeah. But yeah, that guy definitely could play for me. That's it.
Put it this way, he's good at tackle football.
yes, great football player for sure. All right, so we're gonna do that. So, what was your thoughts overall of the cornerback position for the Senior Bowl? What are your thoughts?
I mean, they've got like a good amount of like day 2 guys. I think this cornerback class as a whole is pretty underwhelming. I know like our guy at Bleacher Report, like he has McKinstry as like the #1 guy, and then it's a steep drop off. I know nationally people are a little bit higher on guys like Nate Newton at TCU and Nate Wiggins. So those guys might rise on the Bleacher Report board. We'll see how our scout does that over there. But yeah, it's kind of like it feels like there's not really like a top end talent at this class. Like McKinstry's a good player, not a great one. And then a lot of kind of guys that fall into that day 2 category. Again, we'll see how things shake out throughout the process. But yeah, a lot of guys that are, good, not great football players, which is part of the reason why I'm kind of hoping that the Raiders target corner in free agency this year. But yeah, it's an interesting crop. There are a lot of those guys in that second round. Unfortunately, I think a guy like who is it who's going there that is hurt and not playing, practicing? Oh, the cornerback out of Missouri. Is it Ennis? I forget his last name. I just remember Ennis because that's a unique name. Isn't playing, but yeah. So a lot of second rounders at least.
A lot of second rounders. All right, yeah. On the flip side, the offensive line group is tremendous this year. I could already tell. I'm not even looking at juniors yet. I'm looking at all seniors, and these guys are pretty damn good. Some guys I'm not even covering. The center from Georgia, I can't think of his name right now.
Cedric Van Pran.
Yeah, he's a stud. There's a center from Oregon who's there too. He's a stud. Both those guys are, I would say, second round players or day 2 guys because they're centers, but you never know. They could sneak into the end of the first round. Those dudes are both studs, right? And if the Raiders, I didn't really want to do center because I'm really stuck in between. The Raiders just move him inside if they want to move on from James. Is that their plan? So, yeah. I'm going to push off from doing center because if they do that, then they probably have a center for a while, right? So I'm not going to try to, look at a centers here. So I went all guards. But the tackles, Morgan from Arizona, that dude's pretty damn good. I don't know where he's going to go, but he's pretty damn good. Even Petrie, he's super athletic. He has awful technique. He has no idea what he's doing, in my opinion. But he's so athletic that he can get away with it. Kansas.
Puny?
Oh, that's his name? Did I say Petrie?
It's like, yeah, I'm like, Jalen Petrie. I was like, what? I'm like, I didn't think there was a Petrie, but
yeah. So I'm all off of these, yeah, the guy from Kansas. That dude is athletic as hell. And I think he has like a 90 elite PFF grade this year in pass protection. So he's really damn good out there. So there's a lot of good players. I mean, when you get to the lower ones, you get some iffy guys out there. But I went one iffy guy, Isaiah Adams. He's kind of iffy, but he actually played guard as a junior, and for some reason I don't know if they didn't have any right tackles in Illinois, but they put him out there right tackle, and he just did. Yeah, it was a good time for him. So I think he's gonna play guard at the Senior Bowl, and we're gonna go. It's probably gonna happen. And then even Fuaga, there's a lot of talk about him moving to guard, so that's why I wanted to look at him too, because I mean, he's kind of an option at 13. I mean, even if the Raiders don't pass the quarterback, he is an option there. Bucky Brooks already mocked him there, and I think I mean, if the Raiders have a quarterback situation that they like, I wouldn't be bothered by that pick. Let's just say that. And then Cooper Beebee too is, if the Raiders do take a quarterback, I think he's the perfect guy to take day 2, high day 2, because I think he's a plug and play guard right away.
Yeah.
So I think Cooper Beebee is pretty legit out there. So I think there's some guys out here at the Senior Bowl that the Raiders can really get a good look at and decide what they want to do going forward with some of these guys, and especially moving them around.
Yeah, I think especially with with Beebee, like he's got so much experience. Like you could pretty much like he should be ready to start, and could be a guy like you said, like even if he has a day 2 pick and if he is a second rounder, like you feel pretty confident about him being able to be a starter.
Yeah.
Like I said, with the cornerbacks, a lot of good, not great players. I think Khyree Jackson, he's intriguing. He's like 6'3", skinny as a rail. Needs to put some weight on a little bit, but 6'3" and can run. Has decent like change of direction, movement skills. Like we'll see a couple of reps where he ends up running the route for the receiver and whatnot. Got those long arms to get PBUs. Kalen King, a little more physical. I'll say this year, like he didn't have he had a down year this year. He wasn't nearly as good as he was in the past. Like we'll watch, most of the clips we're watching are actually from 2022, just because again, like it just was not as good of a year. Like you look at his PFF grade, he had a steep drop off, and I think that's why you're seeing him fall from over the summer being in that like quarterback 2 category where he was considered a first rounder, and now he's like kind of mid second. It seems like kind of falling off and not nearly as much of a slam dunk as the guy behind Kool-Aid, or was even in the conversation to unseat Kool-Aid as he was in the summer. So couple interesting players, but I don't know. We'll see how it all shakes out, man. It should be a fun week.
All right, for sure, man, for sure. So me and Matt will both be out there. I'm only actually going to be there for Wednesday but that's media day and that's padded practice, so I'm good. And I checked the weather. We're good. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
all right. So but I'm gonna be there Tuesday night, Wednesday, and then but we'll probably do some kind of reaction onto the Wednesday second practice. And of course, I got the film with the great Catapult people. Catapult, love you guys. We'll be in their thundercloud. Since they love to attack us, man. But whatever. All right, so let's get into this film. Let's start off with offense. We'll go into these, check out these guards and see what we got here. Even though 2 of them are going to be playing tackle, but guard. All right. So first one, we're going to go kind of backwards. We're going to go the day 3 guy, which is kind of Isaiah Adams. Isaiah Adams, he played right tackle this year, but he played guard as a junior. At right tackle, he gave up 31 pressures. At guard, as a junior, he gave up 11. So if you could think he's a tackle, he's definitely a guard, if that tells you anything. And he played guard most of his career. But you see here why he's a guard. He's just a mauler. This dude will help the run game immediately. Like you could put him unbalanced line, and he's just a monster. Just pancakes.
He pushed his man outside the left tackle.
He's a mauler, man. So literally what he is. He's mean too. He's not a nice guy. Not nice. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like defensive ends. You see him just kind of just smash this guy into the ground. Oh. And it's just I like this one. There's a funny one he does later. You could just tell he's just an asshole. I like that. I like that in my run blockers. Basically, you see here, and as a run block, he always usually has good pad level. He's always be able to use his power, right? He's very gap scheme. Okay, but like I said, that's the rave in the NFL right now. Anyways, getting away from a lot of this zone, but he always has good pad level when he's doing power, right? So you see here, he gets low. He stands up a little bit on this one, but he's still able to get a lot of power, get another pancake.
Hands are low and inside too.
Yeah.
What else?
Here's another one. Here's moving somebody else. Now this is more zone on this one. Yeah, a little inside zone. You see how get some good movement there and just move that guy. But you what?
Made Kalen King miss.
Just moving him. But he to foreshadow, he gave up 7 pressures in this game, and we're gonna go over this game later. So these Nigerians just tore him up. I mean, you can see why he just can't play tackle, because he's just, anybody inside of here is just way too athletic for him. See him going to get 0. The safety just blows that play up. I have no idea. I don't know how Penn State lost the game. Are they this bad on offense? I'm just watching this defense. It's crazy. These dudes are so fast.
I mean, the 2 games they lost, besides the bowl game when everyone sat out, were Michigan and Ohio State.
I guess that's, yeah. Good Lord. It's like he just goes to Nigeria and just says, hey, you want to come play pass rusher for me? Seriously. All right. Then, you see here, even like laterally, you can kind of tell here. I think this is why he's not a right tackle too, because you tell me, Matt. I think he's blocking the wrong guy here, isn't he? I feel like you see his eyes are here, and this tight end is trying to get here.
Go back pre-snap.
Man, you let me know here.
Oh, that's tough because the gap exchange, so it's he got to adjust on the fly. But yeah, he should be getting. He's responsible to be it. It's actually not a bad recovery.
Yeah, it's a. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like he's a guard. Like, they had him just out of position. They must have had no right tackle on the roster. Like, Isaiah, you're our best player. Play right tackle for us. All right. So yeah. So that's literally some of his issues. There is basically kind of he's not a right tackle, and I think he would be a lot better if he moved him inside, especially in pass pro. And we're gonna see just him being mean. I think this is him rolling over on this guy is why I like him. This is the most asshole. He didn't have to do this. When you punish jumpers, and then he just rolls over on him. Like, it's unnecessary. That's on purpose. He's an asshole. Love it. All right, here's a. You just kind of, he's so clunky outside, right? He's just kind of doesn't have he's not really good on his feet. He's just kind of out of position a little bit. You just tell he's just not comfortable out there. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's just. He's just kind of like, I'm trying to. Why you got me out here at right tackle? And then you see him, against some of these more athletic pass rushers, and they just eat him alive. Super quick inside here. Quick move, and you kind of see he just gets doesn't really he doesn't even have a set, really.
Yeah. Ass is way too high.
Yeah, off balance. It's just bad. I didn't want to bash him too bad. There's a really embarrassing play in this game. I didn't bash him too bad because I'm not good. And here, I think number 20, he is going to the Senior Bowl. This is like, I forgot his name, but I know he's going to the Senior Bowl.
Adisa Isaac.
Yeah, he's a pretty serious pass rusher. You see, I don't know what he's even doing here. He runs out there. He's totally off balance. Feet are off. Just go ahead.
He oversets. If you go back a little bit, you see how his outside foot was inside the tight end. He had help and oversets to just opened up that huge inside lane for Isa. I mean, maybe he's allowed to do that because the quarterback's going to boot, but
yeah. So obviously he's not a right tackle, but I think if the Raiders draft him 5th round, move him back inside, I think that's somebody you could see day 3 type of guy. So, and then let's go day 2, which is Cooper Beebee. This is all against Texas because this is a lot against Byron Murphy, just kind of to show how clean of a player he is. So here's in the run game, just making guys move here. Just constant moving for Beebee. His tape is so clean. It's hard to find something that he's really bad at. It's just consistent film. And it's just every facet. See, he can pull. He's a good puller. Probably what's going to drop him a little bit is his athleticism. He's not he's an old school guard. He's a little, he's got a little belly there. So there's some belly fat there. And here he is against Byron Murphy, who Byron Murphy destroyed every single other player on Kansas State offensive line except Beebee. Beebee did not give up a pressure this whole game. He only gave up 9 all year. See him just kind of push Murphy out of the way there. He knows he's got to run. It just allows him to rush up the field. It's a very smart play. Opens up the hole.
Like how patient he was to let Murphy declare where he wants to go and then just ride him out that butt, exaggerate it. That's perfect for zone blocking. Patient, boom, let him ride him out.
There's that play again there. And then here we go. And he's just yeah, this is that's what I'm saying. The Raiders draft a quarterback and they want to go guard round 2. This is the guy, high round 2.
That was supposed to be a combo block too, and he just took it over and
he's like, no, I got this myself.
I got this.
I mean, just all game is dominant like this all game long. And then so we'll check it out here. So this will talk about his athleticism a little bit. It's probably be his biggest knock, and why I think he's not a first round guard. It's just he's the old school, he got the belly, sometimes he's just not going to be able to get there that quick. Right? He's pulling. Mm-hmm. He's just when you watch Fuaga, it's gonna be Fuaga's a freak. All right, so here's a pass pro. A lot against Byron Murphy, where like I said, Byron Murphy had 6 pressures in this game, and Beebee gave up 0. Right. Damn. So you see here, just controlling him. Right. You got a little help at first, but when he took control, he did a good job against him. So just again, and he's he resets against him versus counter. Great feet, great base, just everything. This dude's just a technician, man. Because he's really not that athletic, but in Byron Murphy's super athletic type of player. He's just sticking with him right everywhere he goes, left and right. Here's again, and this time Murphy does a good counter, but he just pushes him around the pocket, allows the quarterback to step up. His pad level is always good, right? A good anchor, but then you see this is a great move by Murphy in the first. I just want to say that. good rip. He's almost got him, but he's still able to control him. Let his quarterback step up.
I like to he shifts his hands on that point. He has Murphy on the chest right there, and then right there when he kind of resets his hand on the armpit. And that helps him ride Murphy by, helps stop that rip move.
Yeah. That's
technician.
Seriously. And then here he is. This is another good one, but this just shows Byron Murphy's power here, because this quarterback holds the ball a long time. So you see it's a good rep, gets a pretty good lockout there, right? But the quarterback hasn't got rid of the ball. So here comes Murphy. Murphy's going to keep pushing. He's going to keep pushing. These guys got to go 1-on-1 for the first day. So I mean, they put pads on. These guys just I just want to watch this.
Wonder if they're on the same team.
Oh yeah. And then you can watch it one more time here, just the lockout. And then if it's somebody normal, I mean, it's just easy work for him. It's just where are you going? What are you doing? He's just, and then picking up stunts. He does that well. So yeah, Beebe's pretty. He's clean, right? That's what I would say. I mean, athleticism might be a little bit of an issue. He might be more of a gap scheme type of player. Maybe not for sure zone, but you could run some duo and stuff with him in the gap scheme. But he's clean as hell. He's one of the cleanest players in this draft. And then there's Fuaga, who is just a monster. That's just basically how I'd explain it. He's 6'6". Probably 340 pounds, probably 350 playing. And he could do zone. He can run gap. This dude's a freak. I think he can play tight end in my opinion. I want to do an unbalanced line and do like a tight end leak. Just look at just a lot to here. On this, what is it? This is outside zone, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Just that's a lot too, man. It's just, and you know, people talk about him moving inside, and we'll talk about that a little bit in a second. But because you could already see he kind of has like dinosaur arms, T-Rex arms a little bit too. But he's just so powerful. Just moving this guy here. Dual run here. Constant movement. Just moving people. It's just, and he's nicer than Adam, so you say, you know, he's not gonna, you know, throw you to the ground. He's just gonna be nice. But in spaces where he's special, man. This guy, I want to know, he's gonna run like a 4.8 or something like that. I feel like watch this, man. Like how fast he just can move in space, and he's 340 pounds. Damn, he's moving. And watch the screen one, man. Watch the screen one. This screen one is crazy. This next one. On the screen, he's just on the screen. He's gonna get out there. He's just moving out there. He's so athletic.
Okay, so big boy.
I know he can move, man. I'm telling you. And in pass protection, like I said, one issue and why I think he has to play guard is I think he's late with his hands, but I think he has such good feet when you see him against Latu, but I still think he's a little bit late with his hands, and he has those short arms, so it's a little bit late. And I think that's why it'd be easier for him to punch inside and against lateral movement. You kind of see where if he didn't have that guy inside, Latu might have got around him. But you see here, even though he's a little bit late with the punch and he can counter pretty well here, he's able to so big he can just push him around, right? But that's why I think a little bit. It's the short arms, and then Latu's already making his move here. I mean, he's getting the chop. Cross chop, and he's just so big, you just can't. I mean, you're gonna try to cross chop his arm; it's just not gonna work. But you know what I mean. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, man, on that?
On what? On say it again.
Like his arms and kind of him.
I mean, I don't know Fatu well enough to make a judge on it, but to be honest with you.
You see, this is right because he just lets a lot too in his chest a little bit there.
Yeah,
I think it's just I think that's why they want to move inside, because I was trying to figure out. That's why I texted you. I was like, why do they want this guy to move inside? You see here, this guy even tries to do cross chop on him a little bit too, because I think that he is pretty late with his hands. So some of these pass rushers maybe try to make that move, but it just doesn't matter. He just pushes you around. But in the NFL, I think that might be a little different. That cross chop just might hit a little harder. It just might hit a little harder to see one more time. But yeah, that's the lineman group. That I think those are just guys that I think the Raiders should target. If it's like a first round guy that's a Senior Bowl, the Raiders should target. It'd be Fuaga, then Beebee. I think that is if we're gonna do a mock draft, he's probably gonna be my mock number 2. I'm just gonna let you guys know right now, because I think that is a target for me in the second round is Beebee. I just think he's so clean. And then if you move Parham inside, you put him at left guard, you maybe get a right guard in free agency. I think you have a good line for a pretty long time. And then you can find a right tackle or something like that. But I mean, that's a big deal. But I still think those guys inside and what you want to do will be a good thing. And I think Isaiah Adams type of guy is a little bit of a project, but I think if you put him back at guard, he played pretty well.
For sure. Sure.
Should we do some corners? Let's do some corners, man. Let's get some cornerbacks.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start here with our guy, Khyree Jackson. Again, tall, long corner. I will say one thing that kind of stands out about him is he has pretty good makeup speed. Like, you're going to see him get a little beat here against Colorado, loses his man for a second, but it's a common theme we'll find throughout these clips is he can make up for it, ends up doing a good job. Not turning and looking for the ball to slow himself down even more, and ends up, we'll see it on the angle, obviously an inaccurate pass, but it's to be able to make up. And at least if this was on target, he's there in a great position to be able to contest the pass and contest the catch there. And again, we'll see a little bit better reps here in a second. This one, you're going to open the gate a little early, I think, and we'll see that a couple times. That got him in trouble against Roma Dunze again and against Washington. But same kind of thing. Like, you can see the speed to play press coverage, play some soft shoe and bump and run. Like, stick with him stride for stride. And then for here, when he's able to stay in phase and play from that trail position, looks and locates the ball perfectly. Once the receiver looks, you can see his head start to turn here, and then just makes it. Goes up and makes a good play on the ball. Now, would like to see the finish here. Maybe some extra weight, extra size, get a little stronger to fight through the contact there. But hey, that's why the guy plays DB too, right? Mm-hmm. The other thing I like about him too is his fluid hips. Like, you can see it a little bit here off the line. Like, as soon as this receiver kind of starts to break in his release, you see him open and fly opening like that. Like, that's exactly what you need from a press corner. And then this is the rep I was talking about earlier. Like, he runs this route for the receiver. Does a great job. As his tall corner, this is really hard of dropping his butt, making a play on, and being able to run with that comeback route. Get a better look at the PBU here. Again, playing through the back of the receiver. It's perfect. He killed it in this Colorado game. They went after him a bunch, and I think they got it was PFF had him 6 targets, only 2 completions allowed. So, wow. Pretty nice game for him. Again, another example of what he can do in press, be physical, be a pest. Obviously doesn't get targeted here, but for a guy that's only 195, sub 200 pounds, listed at sub 200 pounds, I should say, he's got decent strength. You can see it here, disrupts the timing of that receiver and is able to stay in phase throughout the whole time, even as the pressure starts to come. Backing up. Oh, yeah, this is one I was really impressed with. So, Oregon runs, looks like cover 6 here. He's going to be on the cover 2 side of the call. And obviously with the formation, anything inside, like a slant or a drag route, is going to be wide open. But what he does is he recognizes that, stays with it, and kind of sells the man coverage. And then once he sees Shedeur Sanders start to look for this running back on the check down, put his foot in the ground, change directions, and go get back to the flat, and then go make a beautiful tackle in the open field for a 1-yard gain. That's pretty damn impressive. This is similar to what we were seeing earlier in the week from Jalen Johnson, where, kind of bluffs the coverage, goes the extra mile, help his teammates out, and then 2, rallies to the ball and goes making that tackle. Hell of a rep there. Get a view of the open field tackle here, which I'll be honest, not probably his biggest strength because he is so light. Kind of leaves his feet and gets a little lucky there to bring him down. NFL, it might be a broken tackle against the receiver, like a Debo Samuels of the world. Mm-hmm. This one, again, you're going to get beat off the line a little bit, loses man, but that makeup speed, turn to locate the ball, and go make a play on it. This is basically his highlight tape. He can be a good press man or cover 3 corner. Man, that camera work was terrible. Didn't even get to see the PBU, but
Jamie, these graduate assistants, man. I tell you when I watch this film.
I know. Guys working for free. We got to fire those guys. All right, get one clip here from the Washington game. He had another one similar to this, but Washington threw an easy touchdown on the other side of the field, so I didn't include it. But similar rep here. Again, not the greatest technique in press, but you can see how fluid those hips are, and how he takes this option away from Penix. I think Penix is going to look for, I believe that's O'Dunes at the bottom of the screen. He's going to look in there, wants to go to the single receiver side and get his number 1 guy. But Jackson's in his hip the whole time and makes him go elsewhere. Ball ends up falling incomplete. Again, there's another rep like this. I just didn't include it because it was an easy touchdown. But again, you see here, I'd like him to be a little bit more patient and not open the gate to the outside right here. But he's so fluid that he can move and kind of recover. I think that's one of the things. Now, again, the other end of that with Jackson is earlier in the game against Washington, O'Dunes, or throughout the game with O'Dunes, was kind of giving him some trouble and definitely exposing more of his flaws. But for where he's at right now, I think he's got some good skills to make up for his recovery. And if he can get that other stuff cleaner, we'll see him blossom.
We're getting some Aiden O'Connell film here. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We got one nice throw from Aiden O'Connell here. I don't think this is this one. I think it's the second clip, but we'll get some Aiden O'Connell throwback here. But yeah, moving on to Kalen King. Like I said, had a much better year last year than this past year. So we'll start with some 2022 tapes. That's going to be the majority of it here. This is against, I believe, is it Charlie Thomas? He was that white receiver. That was the I think second round pick for the Bengals this past year.
Yeah, third round.
Yeah, third round. That's right, third round.
Yeah.
So kind of similar to what we were just seeing from Jackson. Soft shoe press coverage here. Can turn and run. Locates the ball. Gets a nice PBU. Get another example of it from the end zone view. AOC trying to hit his guy. What's up?
Side note. I mean, now that I think about it, AOC does love to just throw to one guy, David Bell. And,
he's got his guy.
And Charlie Thomas, Devontae Adams.
Yeah, he's got his guy, and he's going to go to his guy no matter what, especially if he gets one-on-ones.
Anyways, keep going. My bad.
All right. So here he's going to be lined up across from Charlie Thomas again. That's one thing that was pretty consistent throughout the last 2 years is Penn State did put him on like the opponent's number one receiver pretty frequently, like even against Marvin Harrison Jr., which maybe at some point they shouldn't have. Like they pretty much said, you're our guy and you're going to be cover the number one. Here, it's going to be a pretty sweet rep where like obviously stays in phase throughout the rep on his man. And then what I love about it too is once the scramble drill starts to happen, like you can see him read O'Connell's eyes and then peel off and kind of go help his teammate. Now we'll see from the end zone view. They end up completing this nice ball from AOC. Nice throw on the run from our guy here. Like you can see just how close Kalen King got to this. And again, not his man coming off and reading it and like went too fast. Like he just misses this like right there.
Wow.
Like, yeah, just missed that ball. I mean, just to be in a position there, like that kind of speaks to his athleticism and what he can do a little bit. This is 2022 versus Ohio State. First play of the game, he blew up a ton of screens here. Like you can see him get physical, go up and make that tackle. We'll see it from the end zone. Get a little CJ Stroud cut ups too. This one was even better. Another screen here. Just immediately read it, click and close. You can see kind of the speed. He's a physical dude, man. He likes to hit, likes to play some run support too. Strong and press coverage. So splits both blockers there. I think is that Stover up there too, I believe. That tight end. And he just beats him to the spot and makes a beautiful tackle. This is what I'm talking about. Last year was a little bit better for him, but here Ohio State goes fast, so they're a little bit out of position. Stroud's going to try and throw it up to his guy. King makes a nice play in coverage again too, staying in phase, especially considering starting behind 8 ball a little bit with Ohio State running up tempo, stride for stride, ends up actually getting on top of the receiver and getting a little PBU there. All right, here we're getting into 2023. Now, I want to preface this by this was a bad game for him. Ohio State had him in a blender. Marvin Harrison ate his lunch pretty much all game. But he did have a few nice reps. And again, kind of what we've seen before, being physical, staying patient and soft shoe. Now, I would like to see him not like be this aggressive where he gets in this position, where he's off balance and out of his tube. But because he's so strong and physical, it doesn't matter because he ends up affecting that receiver's route and kind of taking it away from him. I think this is going to be a similar play. This is against this one more soft shoe, but again, Marvin Harrison had him in a blender more often than not, but he did have a few nice reps where he stayed patient in the line of scrimmage. That's the biggest key for him. He's going to kind of be quick to open up, and unlike Khyree Jackson, I don't think he has quite as good of a change of direction skills and fluid hips to make up for it. But when he does stay patient, it's kind of an example of what he can do, and ends up taking Marvin Harrison out of the read for McCord there. Again, against the screen here, not the best getting off this block. Takes him a little bit longer, but eventually works off of it and goes and makes a nice cleanup tackle. I think that was third down to go make the stop. Here we're going to get 2nd and 15. Going to be the last play. 2nd and 15. So the biggest thing was trying to keep the offense behind the sticks and stay deep in his zone, which I like. get this little switch release out of the backfield, basically, or with the receiver running the jet motion across the formation. Reads it, stays on top of it, triggers, makes a nice open field tackle. And what is that? 3rd and 9. We'll take that every day. So again, a little bit of what he can do. More of a physical corner than Khyree Jackson, a little bit stronger than he is, but can play and press. Seems to be the theme of the corners we've been looking at. A lot of guys who can play soft shoe and play at the line of scrimmage, which is interesting to see. Even going back to the free agents we're looking at with Snead and Jalen Johnson, it seems like that's what the direction the Raiders are going to have to go with if they go with one of these guys if they want to upgrade their cornerback room. Maybe change philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of press coverage just for college football, in my opinion. You don't see it that much. I know Penn State does. Penn State's one of those press coverage teams. That's why they always, play a pretty good defense against, most Big Ten teams that aren't Ohio State or Michigan. So, but because they put that press coverage and they have those corners out there that could do that. Both those guys look athletic though, which is what you want in your corner. I think looking at King, I think his hips are a little more stiffer than Jackson, but
Jackson,
Jackson looks like his potential is higher because if you fix his technique, he has that ability. If he does lose, that he can recover, right? Which is a good thing too.
Yeah, my biggest thing with Jackson is he's just got to get thicker. Like that was one of the things. Like he can get bullied a little bit. We saw it a little bit, and he's not quite as strong. But like you said, man, he can turn and run. That's for sure. But we'll see how it goes in the one-on-ones. I feel like he's a guy that he's kind of made for that almost a little bit, where like he can run and he can stop and stop. So we'll see how he performs in those drills.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So interesting group. Like I said, the O-line group is going to be big time out there. I'm going to have to watch those D-lines versus offensive line for sure, man. I'm going to have to check that out because, these guys just keep popping off too that, I didn't know they got number 20 from Penn State. I was like, who the hell is that? I'm like, oh, he's there. Yeah. There's a lot of guys that are catching my eye, kind of just watching some of these linemen. So, it's gonna be a fun time out there. See what we got, see what we can find. Maybe if we hear some rumors, maybe we get some rumors, man. Maybe we get some, hear somebody talking at the bar.
Rumors, maybe.
Hear somebody talking at the bar, man. Do some ear hustling.
Yeah, or maybe we'll run into the Raider scouts again that want nothing to do with us at Chick-fil-A.
That was a classic moment.
Yeah.
They like ran. I didn't think they got their food.
They just bolted.
That was a funny moment. All right. Any last thoughts, Matt? I guess we'll talk about the OC a little bit, I guess. I mean, Zach Robinson got hired.
Yeah, which is a bummer, but I think the good thing is, I think both of us are on the same page of we just want someone from the McVay-Shanahan tree, and that seems to be just every offensive coordinator and somehow in some way that's available right now in the top target. So and it seems like that's what they're targeting because it was Van Pelt was already on the radar. Did they interview him already? I think, or at least requested.
They interviewed Van Pelt.
The new one, or no, that's right because he got canned. That's right, so he's available. Van Pelt, right?
Yeah, and then they interviewed Clint Kubiak, I think today, but he's supposed to come back for a second interview or something already.
Yeah, who's really more like he's kind of the Mike Shanahan tree. The Kubiak and the Shanahans have been tied at the hip for so long.
a lot of bootlegs. The bootlegs.
There you go.
Yeah, Clint Kubiak though, he makes me a little nervous because he might want to keep AOC, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with AOC, but he could probably feel like I could just do some bootlegs. Jake Plummer,
we just saw that bootleg, that dime that he dropped, that AOC dropped in that scramble drill. There we go. A little preview for you guys. We thought we were going to watch Senior Bowl cornerbacks. Is actually a Raiders 2024 offense preview.
Yeah,
McConnell dropping dimes off of scrambles and bootlegs.
I know because it's just hard for me to see Jaden Daniels doing a bootleg. I don't know. It's just maybe he could do it, but it's just under center doing the Kubiak thing. I mean, maybe he's a good coordinator though, because I looked at Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins stats, and he threw 33 touchdowns, had 4,000 yards, and he had a pretty damn good year under Kubiak. So threw downfield a lot, so I know they went through vertical. It was one of his highest A dots of his career. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's why they might go that route, but we'll see. We'll see, man. The quarterback is the easier the system for the quarterback, the more they don't want to trade up because they're like, hey, if it's easy, and that's an easy ass system for a quarterback. It is. It really is. All right. Any other things?
You giving Brock Purdy slander on the NFC Championship game? Is that what I'm hearing? Am I dipping in there?
I'm not sure that. I don't like slander Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy is an executor. That's what I call him. We call him a game manager. I call him an executor. You know, he's just
an executor. I like it.
Yeah. He executes the hell out of that offense. It's crazy. He knows where to go at all times. It's like so. I mean, but it just isn't. It's just boring to watch. I feel it. I feel like people don't put him in the top 10. You watch it. I feel it's like, go ahead.
That's where the disrespect comes from. People just get bored with watching him.
Hell yeah, that's what it is. Because there's no Justin Herbert throws in there. There's no Jordan Love throws in there. You're getting these getting a nice slant, great decision. It's like quarterback coach tape. That's really what it is.
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's not like quarterback coach.
Not the sexy plays.
Yeah, it's just like was one play against the Eagles. He had a check down, went through his reach, hit a check down, and George Kittle went for 40. Great.
Counts the same in the stat sheet.
Yak. All right. Anyways, so when you guys watch this, there'll be Super Bowl teams. We ain't gonna make no picks or anything like that. So check this out. But get ready for the Senior Bowl. Raiders getting for the draft. We'll be out there giving you guys all the news and all that stuff. So check it out. Subscribe for all the content. And we're out of here. Peace.